Welcome back to another video, y'all. Today we have the first episode of our movie/TV show player build series. First up, we have Happy Gilmore, an absolute classic. If you are enjoying this series and you want to see more, comment down below what other players from movie/TV shows you want to see me recreating the SHL, and sub with notice on so you don't miss your favorite players in the future. Let's get right into game one for y'all. Here we go, fellas, hopping into our first ever game with a movie series build. And listen, our challenge, we're not gonna have a challenge for every single player potentially. Maybe not, it's not gonna end all be all. We're not gonna have a punishment and challenge wheel like before, but we are absolutely gonna have certain things that we're gonna go for each different kind of movie build. So being that we're doing Happy Gilmore for this one, our challenge is going to be to go for the most penalty minutes in a game, because Happy Gilmore does say that he did set the record for the most penalty minutes ever.
Still hold 2 league records. Most time spent in a penalty box.
Now, however, you see that I'm trying to go around and hit everybody, but we already are on a pace that's literally impossible to get this challenge at this point. The reason for this is simple. The record is 67 minutes, 9 penalties set by Randy Holt back in 1979 of the Los Angeles Kings against my Philadelphia Flyers, and clearly we cannot get it at this point because 67 minutes is a full 3 periods and an overtime. And we haven't even been in the box one time, as I'm literally sitting here hitting people for no reason, and I finally get my first penalty. So our goal for this is going to be to try and spend half of each period in the penalty box. So it's 10 minutes of game time for the first period, second period, and third period, at least in the penalty box, because there is a couple other things that I want to accomplish. One of those being a slap shot that potentially breaks the glass, because of course Happy Gilmore has an absolute clap bomb. It's just not very accurate, so that's going to be one of our other goals for this game. Now there is a few others that we are going to be going for, but I just don't want to spoil for y'all, that I want y'all to see. But just know that they are all nods to the movie, of course. So if you have seen Happy Gilmore, you will absolutely recognize them if you have seen the movie. Nice, let's go, baby. Come on, that's another 2. That's hopefully, as long as we do not end up getting scored on, this will be a full 4 minutes of penalty time so far. Yeah, we back again. And I will explain everything with the build, how I made literally every single attribute category way more in depth. If you have seen any of the player builds, I will do it similar, but I will just explain it in way more depth and kind of explain why I made every part of the build why I did.
God.
What a shot. Let's go, baby. Another penalty. Now, the one thing I also did not mention is, of course, the fact that if you have played NHL 24, you do know that there is the possibility that I may very well get kicked for team play this game. And if I do, then, it is what it is. We're going to figure out something. Let's go, baby. This is 5 minutes in the box. We're on pace for our challenge now.
No, that wasn't very nice.
Almost. Now, the good thing is we are in the box for the rest of this period and a little bit of the next, so I don't really know how that's going to correlate to our challenge. Hopefully, we'll get close to 30 penalty minutes. Like I was mentioning, though, we may not even survive the full game. If we don't, we'll probably end up hopping into another game of 6s, if not maybe 3s, and just going for some hits. I think we'll probably just go into another game of 6s and basically do the same thing, try and fight more people, try and get more penalties, and basically just see what we can do, see what other havoc we can possibly cause with this Happy Gilmore build. Like I said, fellas, we are absolutely on pace so far for our challenge, so we're going to be going for 9 penalty minutes in this second period. Hopefully we're able to get another fight or a 5-minute major if we're lucky, without getting kicked out of the game, of course, though. Hopping in the second period, y'all. We are, of course, starting this one in the box. It's a little bit sad, but we do deserve it, and it is what we are going for this game, of course. So we're on a good pace for our challenge. Hopefully we can keep it up. All right, that's fine. We kind of needed them to score because we did need to come back. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. What a hit from Happy. Now, I'm just going to be honest. I am genuinely shocked that we're still in the game. Shout out to EA, I guess, for letting me be in the game still. Now that I said something, though, it's probably going to kick me because that's kind of, you know, just karma and luck. However, hopefully we're able to kill this off and get another full 2 minutes if we're lucky. Boom. All right, let's go, boys. Time to kill off another PK because of the man, the myth, the legend, Happy Gilmore. I mean, I had to say, this would definitely be similar to his IRL performance if he did make the team and didn't get cut from tryouts and end up beating his coach's ass and, you know, end up switching in golf and all that good stuff. I would imagine this is probably how his games would go. He would just be an absolute goon, literally set a record for most penalty minutes, and quite literally try and take off his skate and stab somebody with it. So yeah, this is pretty much about how a Happy Gilmore game would go. Fellas, like I mentioned from the beginning, our goal in this game was absolutely not to win, but to go for as many penalty minutes as possible. Hopefully the boys can pick us up and we end up catching a dub. But I'm gonna be real, I was low-key not expecting to make it even through the first period, let alone the second period. But here we are. I mean, we're pretty much going to be going into the third after this last penalty kill. So, you know, hopefully we're able to survive the rest of the game and maybe pull off a W if the boys are able to carry us. They did it, fellas. Since they finally scored on the power play, that's when they kicked me, I guess. That absolutely hurts. We ended up finishing with 17 penalty minutes, so that's a little bit under pace, but we're gonna hop right into another game of sixes. We're gonna try and finish the challenge out and see how far we can get into the next game. Let's see if we can survive a full one with getting as many penalty minutes as possible and potentially breaking the glass with a slap shot. Let's get right into the second one for y'all. Here we go, fellas, hopping into game 2, of course, with the Happy Gilmore build. The challenge is exactly the same. We are going for as many penalties as possible. That dude just got smoked. Sit down, boy. That's 2 minutes already off the rip for boarding. Let's see if we can keep it going. Now, I think I learned from last game, plain and simple, all we need the boys to do is kill off the penalties as best as possible, because I think that's why we remained in the game for the last one for so long, is because the boys just kept killing off the penalties until that very last one where they eventually score with like literally 10 seconds left on the PK. I think if we ended up killing that off, we would have ended up just returning from the box and everything would have been fine. But unfortunately,
I guess we'll never know.
no way. Oh, that's a penalty. Yeah. That one was slightly unintentional. I'm gonna be honest. I was literally going for the puck. I was trying to put it in, and yeah, I ended up absolutely smoking that guy. Boom. No, ref, that's clean. What? Psych, no, we know that's a penalty and a half. That's obviously what we were going for. Let's go, fellas. Let's kill off another one. Come on, come on. Oh, wow. Scared me. I low-key thought that was a goal. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. Now, I know we haven't been able to take many shots, being that we've been sitting in the box for a while, but when we do, y'all will notice that I did at least try and find a shot style that was similar to Happy's. Same thing with skating style. I know that he did technically take a slap shot in the movie, so I could have went, you know, based off that shooting style, but I actually decided to go with both one-timer and shooting style. I decided to try and change it to something that was similar to his golf swing, you know, kind of like with the run-up, where I just found what I thought to be the most similar to his swing, and yep, there it is. While that does suck, as you see, we unfortunately are not going to be able to go crazy with the penalties and everything, so we're gonna hop into a third game. Let's play one game of threes where I can show you all the skating style a little bit more, show you all the shot a little bit more, Hopefully we can miss the net and break the glass if we're lucky, but I don't want to jip y'all and just show y'all literally simulated gameplay basically of me just pretty much watching everybody else and getting a bunch of penalties. Let's hop right into a third one where I promise y'all, I can't promise we're going to score, but I promise I'm going to show off the shot style, show off the skate style, and I'll talk about that a little more. Let's get right into game 3 for y'all. Here we go, fellas, hopping into the third and final game where I will not be going for penalties like that in this game. I'll try to be going for big hits because, you know, Happy just naturally hits the shit out of people, so we will be going for that. But I want to show off kind of the skating style and also the shooting style a little bit in this game, because I did try and match basically what I thought was the closest. The skating style was really difficult because I'm not that good with really creating skating styles and all that good stuff where you have to adjust all those different settings and stuff. So I'll admit the skating style is most definitely not spot on, but I try to just, it basically looked like when Happy skated with the puck the very few times you see him in the movie, you kind of see him skate with it out in front of himself a little bit, which is what I was kind of going for. And for his shot, I decided, we do see him take a slap shot in the movie where of course he does break the glass, which is part of our challenge, but what we don't see is a one-timer. So I know that I technically couldn't have, I could have maybe tried to find one that was close to his slap shot animation. However, I thought it would be way more funny and way better to just go with a shot that was way more like his golf swing. So I tried to find the one that I thought was the most similar to his golf swing from all of the one-timer and shot styles, and I think I got a pretty good one, so I'm gonna try and show y'all that. If not, I will show y'all that of course in the details when I do go over the build and how to make it and everything. Hopping into the second period, y'all, and one other thing that I'm gonna be doing with the series, I think, is I'm going to be ranking all of the hockey movies, not necessarily the builds, because like Happy Gilmore, you know this build is going to be way at the bottom, so we're going to be ranking the movies from best to worst. Happy Gilmore is obviously the only one on there so far, so it's gonna start off at number 1. So comment down below what other characters you want to see me recreate from movies, and also be on the lookout over the weekends because much like the player builds, I will be doing something very similar. From all of the players that you comment, I will create a poll every single Friday that will go up, and it will ask which player y'all want to see for the week, and that of course will decide our player. Comment any other NHL players you want to see as well down below, because if y'all are not familiar, I do that series, but it's just over on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram now. Those links are in the description down below if y'all want to drop them a follow as well. Bang. Oh my gosh, Happy Gilmore actually sent a dime, but
All you gotta do is just tap it in. Just tap it in.
of course it was on a pass. Ew, Happy Gilmore sends a dime. It was a slap shot, but it was on a pass. Ah, dang. No. Here we go, fellas. Hopping in the third period. We're down 3 goals, but I mean, Happy Gilmore, he didn't have the winning mindset, which is, you know, kind of why he ended up getting cut by the team and ended up beating up the coach, because he just didn't have a winning mindset. Somehow that goal ends up going in. I apologize for all the commentary in this one, y'all, but this is a brand new series, so I just want to kind of make it clear and try and explain everything as much as possible and just explain kind of the direction for the channel. I like to be as transparent with y'all as I possibly can, which of course the reason for doing this is because Road to Division 1 and the player build series were just not doing as good as the last year for the player build series, and just as good as I hoped for Road to Division 1. But luckily, Road to Division 1 still will be happening, because last year I ended up doing it on Twitch. It was pretty popular on Twitch, but I thought maybe try it out as a YouTube series and see how it goes. and you know, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, partially because I feel like I maybe could have formatted and done the videos a little bit better, and you know, I will definitely take that into consideration for the future. If you do enjoy that series though, and you want to stay up to date on it still, it will be Mondays over on Twitch from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time, and I probably will be chopping it up and making it into some TikToks and some shorts and all that good stuff. So definitely be on the lookout, and like I said, following from the links in the description if y'all are not already. That will be greatly appreciated. Come here, OG. Oh, yeah, pass it. Oh, JK. Go Seymour. Go. Oh, dude, I thought that was gonna stay out of the net. I was gonna lose my mind. Oh, what a play. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the dub in this last game. However, like I said, I was not worried about getting the dub or showing off and trying to win and score with this Happy Gilmore build whatsoever, because that is not what Happy Gilmore did. He did not even make the team, which, by the way, I am sorry I didn't talk about the movie much. I will be talking about the movies more for the other movies and stuff, but the reason that I did Happy Gilmore first, because it's such a classic that pretty much everybody has seen it, even people who aren't even into hockey, because it's one of the greatest golf / hockey / just comedies of all time, in my opinion. So of course, like I said, this is at the top of our list right now, but I will talk about the other movies, and I will of course rank them as we go through this series and make a bunch of different builds. Let me know who y'all want to see from some different movies and TV shows, whether it be Shorzy, Dougie Glatt, Xavier Laflamme, whoever it is. Let me know what player you want to see, what movie / TV show series they're from, and I will do my best to get as much of those out as possible. These videos will be dropped every single Sunday, of course, from here on out. I think this is going to be the series that we rock with for the rest of the year, so make sure y'all let me know some of your favorite hockey movies so that I can see some that I haven't seen before and make some absolutely banging and hilarious builds for y'all, or just some absolute beast builds for certain players. Let's get right into how to make the Happy Gilmore build and some of our animations. Let's get right into it. All right, so for the Happy Gilmore build, first off, like I said, I did try and find shot styles that were similar as possible to his golf swing. Of course, there's absolutely nothing like his golf swing in ESHL. We literally have like 20 shot styles and one-timer styles. So the one that I chose that I thought looked the best for regular shot style was number 19. Reason being, I know he's not taking a step up, but it kind of looks like it's like the closest thing to a run up as possible as you're gonna get in ESHL. Same thing for one-timer style 10. It's nice, it's kind of long, it's delayed, and that's kind of how his golf swing is, being that he takes a whole run up on them. So for Happy Gilmore's skating style, if you want to copy the skating style, you can copy all the attributes here. I will go down so you can see the rest of them as well, do not worry. But I decided to try and go for, in the movie, he kind of skates with the puck like out in front of him a little bit, along with the fact that he's not a very strong skater. So I kind of went for like an awkward skating style, but also tried to have the puck out in front of him as much as possible, because like I said, he just looks kind of awkward and kind of awky when he skates. If you want to copy this, like I said, just make sure you pause the video here. All right, now so for the actual Happy Gilmore build, for his archetype, I mean, I'm just gonna skip all the BS, and of course it's gonna be an enforcer, not an enforcer defenseman, but an enforcer forward, because he does technically play winger. I wasn't really sure, I couldn't really tell from the movie, because he was just kind of in tryouts. That's all the real hockey we see in the movie, so you don't necessarily get a grasp for kind of what position he plays. But when you kind of look him up and everything online, you see that he does play winger, and everywhere that I looked, he was listed as a winger, so that's what we went with. And Adam Sandler in real life, he's listed at either 5'10 or 5'11 and 190 pounds. We of course can't go that small on an enforcer, but they did recently update it, so you can go a little bit smaller. You used to only be able to go 6'2", 210, which would have been really big for Adam Sandler, but going 6 foot 195, the absolute minimum on an enforcer, that's totally fine. He does of course shoot right-handed in the movie and in real life, and abilities and boosts we will come back to as always. So first, for your technique attributes, like I had mentioned in the video, this is not going to be a competitive build. Do not try and use this if you want to go and win games and you're trying to absolutely sweat it out in a wager match or something, because for the technique attributes, this is what you're going to do. Take 5 off wrist shot accuracy, 5 off slap shot accuracy, 5 off balance, 5 off agility, and add 5 to speed. And honestly, I was just being generous and being kind, adding 5 to speed. There really was nothing that convinced me that he should have 90 speed. I just wanted to at least be able to compete a tiny bit and try and have a little bit of speed to keep up with people, because he does of course have absolutely terrible accuracy on his shot, so that's why we lowered his slap shot and wrist shot accuracy. He does not have very strong skating, so we of course had to lower his balance and agility as well. But like I said, I was just being generous, giving him the +5 speed. Next, for Happy Gilmore's power attributes, you just want to add 5 to wrist shot power, 5 to your slap shot power, because of course he does have an absolute rocket of a shot. It is just not accurate at all, but we do have to do him some justice with the power, because he literally breaks the glass with a slap shot, so there's no way we couldn't do him justice, and it was only right that we assume that he has a super hard wrist shot as well. Then we want to take 5 off acceleration, because there's nothing that really showed me that he was a very fast skater either. I was nice with his speed, so I can't be nice with his acceleration as well. Then we of course want to take 5 off puck control as well, because he has to literally dive on top of the puck and keep control of it to have puck control, and we know that is of course not legal and he would not be able to do that. But since it was a tryout, I mean, you know, he was kind of just doing his thing out there, so we do have to of course credit him. There was nothing that showed me he didn't have reasonable endurance, so I kind of just kept that where that was. He didn't really show me that he was super like out of breath or anything. He didn't really show me that he could kind of keep pace for a super long time, so I thought 85 endurance was reasonable right where it was. After that, for Happy Gilmore's playstyle attributes, you just want to take 5 off passing, 5 off offensive awareness, 5 off stick checking, and 5 off defensive awareness. Then of course add 5 to body checking, because body checking is one of the few things that Happy Gilmore is actually decent at. But in terms of passing, offensive awareness, stick checking, and defensive awareness, just defense and offense in general, he is not very good. For your tenacity attributes, all you want to do is add 5 to durability and 3 to shot blocking. Reason being is, for your durability, is he literally is sitting in the batting cage taking balls from the pitching machine and letting them just hit them over and over again. Not to mention, he does literally win the Open after getting hit by a car and winning with like a broken shoulder or whatever was technically wrong with his shoulder. They don't mention what the exact injury is. And shot blocking, the same thing, is that he literally sits there in the batting cage, takes shots from the pitching machine over and over again. So I think it's reasonable that we assume he's a decent shot blocker. Then we just want to take 5 off his hand-eye, as it's safe to assume he's not very good at that, and take 3 off his strength as well. And for your last attributes, your tactics attributes, all you want to do is take 5 off deking, 5 off face-offs, and 5 off discipline. He's not good with the puck at all, so he does not have good deking. He plays wing, so he's not a good center. And discipline, if you take your skate off and try and stab somebody with it, I think it's safe to assume we can absolutely tank your discipline. Now for his fighting, we do of course have to add 5 to that. He does absolutely whoop his coach's ass. He does kind of get his ass whooped by Bob Barker, but that's besides the point. On the ice, he's an absolute goon. Now going back to abilities, for Happy Gilmore's zone ability, the only one that felt reasonable, the only thing that Happy Gilmore is actually decent at is of course body checking, so we are going to go with truculence for his zone ability. Now for Happy Gilmore's superstar abilities, for his first one, we are going with off the rush. Now while this does increase slap shot accuracy, this does also increase your slap shot power while skating, and even if you do take a bad slap shot, you can still take a super hard but inaccurate slap shot, which y'all did see a couple times in the video. So that's why I put this on for Happy Gilmore, because if you're breaking the glass with a slap shot, there's no way we cannot do your slap shot power justice. Then for his second ability, this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to go with Ice Pack. Reason being is advanced shot blocking. If we're going back to that scene in the batting cage where he is getting hit with all of those balls from the pitching machine, he does, of course, I think that will increase his shot blocking ability, and not to mention, as you see, reduced injury. If he's sitting there practicing getting hit with those balls over and over and over again, I think it's safe to also assume that he is going to be pretty durable when it comes to blocking those shots as well. And finally, for Happy Gilmore's boost, for our first one, we decided to go with a booming slapper. Reason being, I already explained it with Off the Rush. He broke the glass with a slap shot. We had to maximize his slap shot power as much as we possibly could. Then for his second one, we did decide to go with Strong Steel. This one increased his durability a little bit, and it all goes back to winning the open after getting hit by a car, and you know, that scene in the batting cage. We don't get to see a whole lot of hockey in this movie. You could also consider it kind of a golf movie as well, so it was a little bit tougher to make this build, but we can definitely reasonably assume that Happy was not very good at hockey, which is why he always got cut. He wasn't very disciplined. He tried to take his skate off and stab somebody with it. He had the most penalty minutes when he played junior high hockey, I believe he said it was. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that if Happy did end up making it to the league, did end up making it to a team for whatever reason, that this is probably what his build and what his play style would look like. And that is going to wrap it up for our first ever movie player build of the year. If you did enjoy the video and you do enjoy this series, please feel free to drop a like, comment any other players from movies or TV shows that you want to see me recreate in ESHL down below. They do, of course, have to be mostly hockey related or have some form of hockey in it, like Happy Gilmore. It may not be the most hockey focused movie, but you know, it has to be at least reasonable where I can kind of see what their play style would be and how we can make a build out of them. Let me know what other players y'all would want to see down below, and also sub notice on so you don't miss your favorite players from either movies, TV shows, or NHL players. If you are into that series as well, that is over on the shorts. I greatly appreciate you boys watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.